Hello guys, welcome to the video. In this video, we are going to discuss how to crack decision making section of XAT. Well, in XAT, they ask various sections, and almost 21 to 22 questions will be from this section. So if you really wish to perform well in XAT, you should score well in this section. So let's have some tips which will help you immensely in performing well in this section. Let's take first thing. Well, decision making section is like a case study. I know many of you are doing your BBAs, and some of you must have known that they follow a case study methodology while training in MBA. What is a case study? The case study is basically a situation about a person, or it can be about a manager, or it can be about a businessman. And in that situation, what they ask is what should be done in this particular situation by the characters of that case. So it's like a case study. And what is important in case study? Well, they say the most important thing in a case study is you should understand the case properly. So spend some time. Do not be in hurry to go to the questions. Understand what is given in the case. Get to the situation well. That is, the case is about whom and what is to be achieved. Look for some USPs, that is unique selling proposition, or some uniqueness if they have given some vision or policies. Anything they have given about the person or the organization or the institution. Get the case very well. If possible, if you feel like, read it twice, but you should be able to identify all the aspects of the case. Cases are not very big, so even reading twice will be okay. But get the case properly. The next is, obviously after reading the case, what we will do is, we will read the questions. While reading a question, you should ask few things. Number one, what is the additional information? So, in most of the cases, in most of the questions, you will find some additional information. So, understand that additional information well, and after that, ask yourself what is being asked, what is to be achieved, and within what constraints. Well, constraints are also important. Normally people feel that only objective is important, but believe me, constraints are equally important. Because if I give you a case, let's say if I give you a situation that you have to buy a car for your father, and then I'll ask you, okay, which car will you buy for your father? You'll say, okay, I'll buy a BMW or I'll buy a Rolls-Royce. But listen to the constraint. The constraint is you have to buy a car for your father in 5 lakh rupees. I know your dreams are now shattered. You'll not be able to buy these cars. You have to pick another one. So it is not just the objective that you have to achieve, it is also within what constraints you should achieve those objectives. So while reading the questions, always ask what is being asked. Number one, what is to be achieved. Number two, what are the constraints, and the last thing, who are going to get affected from the decision, that is, who are the stakeholders. So these are the 4 things you should keep in mind while reading a question. Obviously, after that, what you will do is, you will find the best solution, that is best decision. Well, best decision is not just which is logical. I know that should be logical. But best decision is also one which is feasible. That is, you should be able to implement it. Let me give you a small case, or rather ask you a simple question. What should we do to eradicate terrorism problem? Let's say one person says that what we should do is, terrorism is basically because of education, so we should educate the terrorist. He has said this. It looks to be a very logical and good answer, but believe me, it is an utopian solution. Utopian is, it is ideal but not practically possible. How will you educate them? If you have means to bring them, that is those terrorists, to your classroom, obviously rather than bringing them to classrooms, you will send them to jail. So how are you going to train them? How are you going to educate them? If they will come with guns, are you going to teach them? No. It looks a very logical question, but believe me, it is utopian, it is not feasible. So look for solutions or decisions which are feasible, number one. Number two, they should also be ethical. Well, they say we are doing business. Business is a social activity. So obviously in society, we all have to follow those ethics. So look for a solution which is ethical, not just which is possible or feasible or achieving the objective. It should achieve those objectives within those given constraints, and that decision should be feasible, number one, and number two, it should be ethical in nature also. Fine. So that you should keep in mind. The next thing is elimination is key. Believe me, the best way of selection is elimination. So eliminate well. What should you do? Read first option. If you like it, retain it. Do not select it. Read second option. If you like it, again retain it. Do not select it. Third option, if you don't like it, eliminate it. So first do a good round of elimination. Eliminate the options which should not be the answer. Eliminate all the bad options. Retain okay options as well. At times what people do is they even eliminate okay options. It's an issue, because at first instance we at times like some options, we don't like some options which are okay, but when we read it again, we find that they are actually very good options. So retain okay and good options, eliminate bad options first, and after doing the first round of elimination, then look at those retained options again, and then find the best one. Again, what is the best one? Which is achieving your purpose, that is what is being asked within given constraints. It is ethical and feasible. And obviously look for the stakeholders also who are getting affected from that decision. Well, believe me, these 5 tips will help you immensely in solving this variety of XAT, and will help you immensely in performing well in this section. Best of luck from my side. Do well in XAT.